Hi, this is Kieran. I'm still working on my DARE project, and I'm currently working on trying to figure out how to animate walking. It's very different than doing a manga or a webcomic. One of the biggest tricks for me that I've had to learn is that normally with the eyelash, I draw at least 3 lines, if not 5 or 7. And in animation, you really need to draw the one line that it's going to be. Those extra lines just end up making the image look very scattered and fuzzy. But let me show you how I'm compositing in Photoshop. I draw the images on half sheets of laser printer paper. Here's panel 12 and 11. I scan them in 2 at a time because my scanner lets me do that. Paste it into Photoshop, and the first thing I do is I make the layer a multiply. Darken will also work. I prefer multiply because I learned on Photoshop 2.0, so it's very old school. And now I have to figure out what it is that I'm lining up on. I'm not using reg marks. I'm just trying to get a feeling for the bounce of the character. And first we start with her lower hoop, lower front leading hoop. Kind of want that to match up. Makes the shadow lines match up very nicely. You see there's some bounce happening in her butt and in her tail. But makes her eye move a lot. That might make her a little bit disoriented, but I'm making the ground the thing that isn't moving and letting the rest of her body bounce around. And then I'm going to change the name of that. Turn off the previous multiply layer. Save as save for web. And right now I'm just using PNG 24s. I know that's a waste of bits. PNG 8 would work fine. In fact, a PNG 2 would probably be sufficient. But now I'm just using a 24 because it's easy. And then I name the layer the layer that it is. Name the file the layer that it is so that I can import them into ImageReady later on. And the next thing I want to show you is once these layers are in Photoshop, really all I'm using Photoshop for is to get everything on top of each other the way I want. So if I turn these layers on one at a time, they're all multiplies. You can see that right front hoop begins moving forward. She lifts it up, moves it out, and then plants it right straight down. And really the difference between it's up and it's heading down is only 2 frames. And I think that gives it a nice snap. And then she plants it, makes it stable, and I'm using 4 frames to put it on the ground. And you can see her nose is moving back a bit actually in the animation. I might need to focus on her shoulder instead to get this to work a little bit better. Give her the appearance of forward movement. But then just to add the next couple of frames, and now she's fully on that right front hoop. Ooh. So in the first 12 frames, which is the first half of the animation, I've transferred the weight from the left front hoop to the right front hoop, and I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty much she's still static. You can see that there's quite a bit of bounce happening with the tail and the mane. The eye is moving forward and backward a little bit. Her nose, the bridge of her nose is moving up and down. I'm not sure how it's actually going to end up looking. But it's really easy to find out how it's going to look. We just simply launch ImageReady. And in ImageReady, all we have to do is import that file as frames. Oh dear, I'm showing everybody in the world my serial numbers and shit. Come on, open up. That I only have like 12 people who've ever seen these makes me not too worried. Okay. Everybody play nice, okay? So we're going to import a folder as frames. And the folder that we're going to import is Rarity 1. Come on, Rarity 1. Desktop. Rarity 1. When we import this, we're going to load up all the frames out of that folder, the 12 that we've actually finished doing. And we can play this animation now inside ImageReady. And what we get is, oh, yeah, see, I kind of moved her forward and then moved her back. So I'm going to have to go back into Photoshop and rethink this movement because she's bouncing around a bit too much. I think I'm going to end up having her stay in one spot and walk in place. So that just wanted to show you what I've been doing so far and how I'm compositing things in Photoshop.